Raise your right hand, please. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the testimony you will give, so help you God?
I do. Hey, yo, what's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Rozelle, and I'm here with my boy
Roman Christopher.
I'm also here with my boy.
Yiko.
And you already know what it is, yo. This is 860's Blunt Truth, where we tell nothing but the truth, the whole truth, and only the truth. Let's get it. Yo, mama, that going, papa, that wrong. That nigga right there was a deadbeat. That shit right there made me headstrong. Big her brother be bugging. He come with a bunch of drama.
Welcome back to 860's Blunt Truth. I am your moderator slash instigator, Roman Christopher, and this is your master debater, never been a hater, Yiko. And of course, we have the old man with the cold plan, Rozelle the educator. What's up, my boys? What y'all doing, man? What y'all up to?
What's good? What's good? I mean, same shit as everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Out here trying to just, school the people, give them something to listen to and understand and rock with. That's about it on my part.
Facts.
Guys, I hear what you're saying. I feel the same way, man. Just uh, keeping myself up on. Why am I hearing myself so loud? My goodness. Um, keeping myself up on daily news. Not dropping certain topics and just keep pushing. So we got very interesting stuff to talk about today.
Yeah, so I mean, I'm glad everybody doing well, obviously, because a lot of the world really ain't. But we healthy, so we can't complain. But we're gonna get into it. So you guys know the format. Truth Hurts is first with Yiko. Truth Be Told with Rozelle, and then we close the segment off with Truth Is. And I got a good question for you guys today. But we're gonna get started with a topic that Yiko wants to elaborate on. But we're gonna talk a little bit about Jeffrey Epstein. And does he have a connection with Israel or the US or both? And we're going to talk about that right now. But we're going to let Yako take it over. We're going to let him explain a little something that can change your minds of whatever y'all thinking about it. Feel me?
Appreciate the handoff, bro. Appreciate you. So yeah, I got some interesting stuff, and this is all. I'm gonna say it's alleged because nothing's proven just yet. But if what I'm saying has any validity to it, there's a lot of people that are they're gonna go down real hard. So as we all know, the Epstein files have yet to be released. Nobody's heard anything about anything, and there hasn't been a single arrest yet. New information has come forward that allegedly Israel had a hand in helping with the entire situation. Now, Jeffrey Epstein is a college dropout with absolutely no educational background and finances whatsoever. The man has been introduced to over 3 to 4 different companies and made the head of their finance department, only to have gotten fired or laid off for one reason or another. So the guy clearly is a moron. Somehow he managed to get hired with the higher ups several times. So obviously there's familiar connection there at some point. And when he failed them by getting caught, they needed to either A, make an example, B, another sacrifice, or C, hide him away somewhere and label him as dead. Either one. Take your pick. But if Israel has had a hand in the situation with the Epstein files, and the government and the CIA, and Masood, I believe, is their version of the CIA or Mossad. Um, I might be pronouncing that wrong, so I apologize. But if their version of the CIA and our CIA were in cahoots with this situation, and a lot of the higher ups are involved in it, then the real question that I want to ask you guys is, what are we gonna do as a society, as a people, to not only get the answers but to seek justice? How do we go about getting justice in a system that is so clearly slanted and corrupt that it's only designed for us to believe that there's justice when there really isn't. So I think I'm gonna pass that off to Razel, hear what he got to say on it if he's ready. If not, I'll give him some time and I'll send it over to my man Roman Christopher.
I'm ready, man. Always ready, yo. Um, I feel like this, bro. I feel like the Epstein files have not come out because if they do, they will implement Trump. You know what I'm saying? Uh, they will show you exclusively that he has been to and fro the Epstein Island. He knows this, and I believe that's another reason why um, all this with the deportations is going on, everything else is going on. It's all smoke and mirrors. It's all smoke and mirrors. He's trying to get you to just totally forget about the Epstein files because he doesn't want to be seen for the rat bastard he is. I mean, I'm still speaking allegedly, just for the records. I feel like once the people do finally get the files in their hands, it's gonna be a different day here in America. But then again, when you think about it, he does have the Trumpers, and as we all know, the Trump administration is being ran like an occult, a cult. You know what I'm saying? They're not supporters; they're followers, willing and ready to believe any and everything he says or does. And if you ask me personally, it's fucking pathetic that you would allow your racism for people who don't look like you to run so deeply in your veins that you will allow a 34-time felon slash womanizer slash adulterer slash buffoon run this planet. I mean, I have no idea how we got where we're at, other than racism, and it's pretty sad that here in America in 2025 we have not learned how to love one another a little bit more. So I'm waiting to see the Epstein files. I can't wait to the smack a few supporters in their face with it. 'Cause I know he's on there. There's too many videos. This is not alleged. This is facts. There's too many videos, too many photos, too many stories for him to not have traveled there at least once. So I'm just waiting to see who's gonna be on what's called the manifold, manifest. I can't wait to see who's gonna be on that because I'm pretty sure he's up there as one of the top supporters and probably one of the top attendees. Actually, I heard a story. I'm gonna say it because I don't know if it's true or not, but this female said that when she was 13 years old, I think she's going to court right now. She's trying to go to court, take them to court. And when she was 13 years old, that Trump actually took her virginity. I mean, 13. This is like 10 years ago, if that. So he definitely was a grown ass man. And he took her virginity, and they said the reason why he asked for this girl in particular. Now get this nasty, freaky shit from your so-called president. The reason why he requested the girl that he requested is because he said she looked like his daughter. You know, the one he's always groping, the one that he said, if she wasn't my daughter, I fucked the shit out of her. Paraphrasing. Yeah, that came out of his mouth. If his daughter wasn't his daughter, he'd smash. So I believe this is why the Epstein files have not come out because he's probably had more than one little Donald Trump daughter looking like somewhere in that island. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, Joe. It's nasty. It's pathetic. And it's disgusting. And racist America loves him for it. So hey, this is the time we live in. And with that being said, I'm gonna pass it to Chris because this shit pisses me the fuck off.
So yeah, so I mean, I seen a hearing where this lady reporter, they made a big deal with this shit too. This lady reporter asked Trump about the Epstein files, and he just got so frustrated. He's like, I'm gonna paraphrase. I'm not gonna quote. I don't know exactly the word for word, but he basically said, "Why the fuck are you still asking me about this low life? Like this guy is not important. There's more bigger things to worry about, and you guys are worried about this fucking scumbag." Paraphrasing, this is what he said to her. So other reporters were all like, you know how the commotion starts behind the closed doors, behind the scenes, all this commotion starts, and everybody you hear all these vocals and stuff talking. Um, yeah, they were all like, kind of. I don't know if they were upset with the answer or what, but they all kind of had a similar question. So but so my next question for you guys though, coming off of this, because this is my job. Um, who do you guys might think might be on that? Other than Trump? Who will be on that list? Because I seen lists come out. I don't know if you guys seen all these different lists that came out, but I don't know if those were like generated from people and they were just putting names on there or what. But these lists were pretty fucking long. And another thing too is no coincidence how Jeffrey Epstein died. Like and how it all happened. Because that always happens to people that have something on somebody. You know what I mean? By what he got hung or something like that, or he hung himself, something like that.
I believe something like
It was
that.
So
something like that, right?
actually, you know what? More information came out about that too.
Allegedly.
That yes, he allegedly hung himself. But there's a lot of quote unquote conspiracy theories, which I call the actual truth, that are saying the footage obviously was doctored. Whatever footage they gave in regards to that, like it's been proven to have been doctored. They lied and they said that it was only doctored for a minute. Nah, it was a lot more than that, guys. Um, and there's no body. They've never produced a body. There's never been a body. So, like I said in the beginning, this guy could have either just, walked out of prison and proclaimed, and the family just took him out. Because his last name is Epstein. There's no cell in my body that says this man hung himself and or was killed. Right? Sacrifice, okay, maybe. I do believe those people do that kind of thing. But to just off one of theirs, that ain't gonna happen. That ain't gonna happen. So yeah, video's been altered. I'm sure the guy's still out there. Maybe he failed the family. He had to be punished. Who knows how it works? It definitely they move like the mafia. If you guys ain't seen The Godfather, go watch it. It's exactly how the government works. It's how the family stays in power. They have this quote unquote presidency that they actually pick somebody who, you know, bullshit. I don't run for president. Let's see who votes for me. Well, you got no experience. Well, I got no experience dicking people over. You're right. I'm too honest for that. I probably run the country the right
I just got an idea. Nah, I ain't had no idea. I just wanted to do that.
That's a bright idea.
Oh shit. Yeah, but so check it though, right? He was also supposed to put out Martin Luther King Jr. files, assassination files. He was supposed to put out these alien files. So what's the reason? I mean, Razel gave a good reason why he might not have put the Epstein files out. Because he allegedly might be on them, on the list. So what's the reason for these other files not coming out though? Because he promised those to come out as well. And back to the question, who do you guys think might be on the list other than Trump? Somebody that can be a big, powerful figure.
Besides Trump, Honestly, who isn't on the list? When you look at the who's in the big game, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's senators, governors, doctors, judges, actors, musicians. I mean, I could just name categories without naming names, and we could get a pretty good idea of where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? Like, the shit is sad, bro. Like, so many people, so many people visited that island with only one thing in mind, and that was to sexually please themselves at the cost of a young person losing their their uh
Innocent.
their innocence. Great fucking word. I was looking for the word to use, and that's the best word to use. Losing their innocence, and it's sad. I mean, I don't want to say anybody's name because I don't want to keep saying a legend, but I'm pretty sure there was a shit ton. You guys ever heard that phrase before out there in the computer world? Shit ton of people. That means more than 12, more than 20, more than 30, way more than 50, probably. Hundreds of people probably visited the island. Hollywood has been named that for a reason.
So what's you got something for that, Yaiko? If not, the next question, what do you guys think about the other files that haven't been released and why haven't they been released?
I'm gonna answer the first question. I'll let Roselle take the second one. As far as the categories Roselle put out there, yeah, all those and then some. He forgot the church. He forgot other countries and people in power there. He forgot government, not just officials, but programs, right? Programs like um, what you call it, WIC and all these places. Like, yo, these people, you got child services, child protection services or whatever. They're not protecting their children. A lot of these people, what they do, they take the kids from you and get them involved in this shit. I'm not saying that everybody at the job does it. I'm not saying everybody's in on it. What I'm saying is the people that handle things like the information or the money, right? These are the people between low level jobs, mid level jobs, higher up jobs, government official jobs, the church, not the church, the people, and then the blacklisted people that aren't even registered as citizens that are just living here because they're so powerful and they're so in the family that there are no records of them. Those are the one percenters, by the way. Okay. So when you take all of these positions and you realize that in all of these positions throughout the world, all these jobs, all these locations, all these, these amusement parks and hotels and a lot of them are used as fronts. Maybe 90% are used as fronts to handle these types of situations. And then they make it look like visitors, tourists, whatever the case may be. Okay. They hire mercenaries that work in their companies as security to do the dirty work that they used to do overseas. And yet we sit here and turn a blind eye to all of this stuff because as long as we have entertainment or whatever, or we got food or we got this and that, who cares? The reality is I want to say maybe like 40% of the population are unaware, 20% don't give a shit, and the rest are involved in some way, shape, or form.
I agree with all that. Every last bit of it. And to answer your other questions, I believe they haven't released the UFO files because they do not want to send the general population into a panic. I mean, sure, there's thousands, millions of people that believe. There's thousands of people who have seen what you could consider solid evidence of life outside of our atmosphere. But there's also so many million that don't believe. If you was to show the people solid evidence of extraterrestrials, I think the whole world will go into a state of panic. 'Cause a lot of us like to believe that we are the superior life form inside of our galaxy. And to know that there's actually somebody or something that's able to travel from galaxy to galaxy, that would absolutely mean that we are peanuts in comparison to a being that has the ability to travel to and from. And I believe that's the reason why they don't show us the alien files. Um, as far as the MLK files goes, um, it's been stated that he didn't die from the gunshot wound. He actually died from a doctor inside of the hospital. Allegedly, when he was wheeled into the hospital, he was on his way out, but he was still alive. And the doctors at that hospital chose to ignore him. And I'm paraphrasing, but I heard that they said something like let that nigger die. And that's what they did. They let that nigga die. And I think I'm not sure, but I thought I heard a story somewhere, allegedly that one of the doctors actually covered his face with a pillow. Not sure how true that is. But the reason why they don't want the American people to know that is because if that had been known, right, that means a good, wholesome, red-blooded white American would have to go to jail for murder. You know what I'm saying? And why should a white man go to jail for a dirty ass nigga who only thing he was doing was causing uprise? To them, he was better in the ground than anywhere else. So now you got a nigga shot, no real criminals, nobody, you know what I'm saying? Nobody to really blame it on, and and the doctor gets to walk free. It's a win-win for everybody because the last thing they wanted to do was have MLK alive and still preaching. So the assassination took place, but it didn't do the job. The assassin didn't do his job. Luckily for them, they had a racist ass fucking doctor who was just as evil and wicked as they were, who was able to finish the job off. And I think that the people knew that they would ask for the doctor's head on a platter, and they weren't willing to serve it up. Even to this day, they may still want blood. You know, today, if that happened to be the case, and that can be proven, do you know how much money? Do you know how much money uh his family could get for from the hospital for suing them for that shit? They don't want that shit. And I think you got a question, Chris.
Yeah, I actually have some information here, which actually could prove what you're saying to be right. I mean, I'm gonna read it for y'all. It says Martin Luther King Jr. was shot on the balcony of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, on April 4th, 1968. He was rushed to St. Joseph Hospital, where he was pronounced dead about an hour later at 7:05 p.m. It says the cause of death was a single gunshot wound that entered the right side of his face and neck, shattering his jaw and damaging vital arteries and his spinal cord. Although he did not die immediately on the balcony, he could not have survived the severity of his injuries, even with the best medical care available at the time. So, I mean, an hour later, which means he made it to the hospital, right? He was still alive at the hospital. So, I mean, you could be speaking some shit, bro.
There's reasonable doubt.
That's what we do here. We speak that shit, yo. It's just blunt truth. You know what I'm saying? If we ain't giving it to you the best way we can, we don't give it to you. That's just bottom line.
So, bro, listen, take this as nothing more than a compliment, but I literally got so lost in what you were saying that I forgot the second question.
So it was just basically about the MLK files as well, because you're supposed to put that out as well. And basically what Rozelle was saying was that Dr. Martin Luther King made it to the hospital, and they what was allegedly said was that he actually died by the doctor not saving him or treating him, as opposed to the actual gunshot. And how I believe you also said that it was noted that he might have been suffocated as well with a
Yeah,
pillow, and that he said he's not gonna treat him, or he's not gonna treat that nigga, right? Something like that.
that's
So,
facts.
I mean, it makes sense when you read what I just read about him making it to the hospital and dying an hour later at 7:05 p.m. But they said he wasn't gonna live anyways because of severity. But so it said he got shot in the face and the neck. So I'm wondering because it also said that he had um, got hit in the spinal cord and also in severe arteries with that one shot. So I mean, it's a lot, and he shattered his jaw, and it shattered his
Right.
jaw. I forgot that part. So that one shot, I mean, it's to do all that is kind of weird. It's crazy. I mean, it's possible, but what's your thoughts, Yako?
Yeah, I'm gonna get into it as quick as I can. So the files that they haven't released, the JFK, the MLK, the Epstein files, like, you know, all these files haven't been released for a very good reason. And that's because they just don't want us to know. They still don't want us to know. The promises are always there. I mean, think about it. You take an individual who was starting an uprise back when, you know, a person of dark pigmentation should be just quiet. He had followers. That's a threat. Anybody who can gain an audience is a threat. And they seek out these spiritual beings that can gain audiences and they either control them or then they eliminate them. Those are the only two options. JFK, being the white man that he was, but he, it's rumored that he was actually going to create the US dollar, um, because the dollar that we actually circulate in our country is the national bank's dollar. Like this dollar belongs to the bank. It doesn't belong to our country itself. See, China has its own money. Europe has its own money. Every other country has its own money. And this is why our currency is so incredibly valuable to them and so interchangeable that our currency tops theirs because it's actually the global national currency that we it's not our own. So we don't even have our own currency as a country. JFK recognized that as a problem and was trying to correct it, was assassinated, right? Now, the MLK files. You have to kill this individual. You can't if you leave him alone, you take a chance, right? They're not about chances. They're about absolute. So, what do? Take a shot at him. If he doesn't get killed, you have to finish him. You have to. There's no leaving him alive. If you leave him alive, he just made his voice stronger. Okay? In any capacity, he could be vegetative. As long as he's breathing, he's a threat. People follow spiritual symbols and they follow, you know, living ideologies a lot more than the past. And then what do? You introduce Martin Luther King Jr.'s past, and you give a few little tidbits of some of the things he did, but you always exploit in their faces. But don't forget he was killed. Don't forget he was assassinated on this. Like they literally talk about his assassination in these events. for a much longer period of time than they do in the beginning. The beginning is like the first 10 minutes, it's about his accomplishments, and then it's like 20 or 30 minutes he was assassinated, and this is the person we think it was, and this is the hospital he went to, and this is how long it took to put the fear in you of uprise. Don't do it, right? This is why I honestly wish that history was taught the way that it actually was, but you can't have the truth because if you have the truth, you lose your power. And there's power in knowledge. And the fact that we choose to remain blinded to them, just like all the tragedies that are going around, around our communities and society amongst us, and we either choose to be a part of it or choose to be blind to it or just choose to do nothing despite knowing it. And it's this is how they went. They put fear in you and they keep you in place.
Doing my emoji shit. Yo, so real quick, before we get into the next segment, one quick question for you guys, and I mean, you can make it a quick answer if y'all want. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's something quick anyway. So we all know Abraham Lincoln was on a penny, right? And his face was facing the opposite way of all the other coins, and the penny was brown. I think we all know what the symbolism of that was, right? Him freeing the slaves, being a traitor, so he's against us, whatever the case may be, right? What coin or dollar bill would you put and in what order? MLK, Malcolm X, and JFK. Yeah, what coin? If you was able to put them on a coin or a dollar bill, like what kind of coin or dollar bill would it be? The color, the money amount. You know what I'm saying?
I put Martin Luther King on the dollar bill, because there's a slogan, what I'm saying, that people have used throughout life, and that is a dollar in a dream. And that's why I'd use Malcolm. I mean Martin on the dollar. Um, MLK, I'd probably put Malcolm on a $10 bill. Only because Malcolm stood 10 toes down.
Okay, I like this. I like where you're going with it. That's dope.
And JFK, I'd probably have to throw JF on maybe on the 5, because he was down with us. He had 5 on it. You know what I'm saying? He had 5 on it. He was down with us. And that'll be my 3 choices.
I thought you was gonna go with $100 bill. I was about to be like, damn, you done put the white man above y'all again, cause he kept it 100, right? Oh shit! Now that was good though. I like that. And then the analogy and the reason why I said that was dope. That was fire. What you think, Yaiko? What you would do?
Silver coin, right? With silver or
He trying to avoid the question, guys. He trying to avoid the question. But carry on.
no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I had my microphone off too. My God. No, but I was going on about that in my mind. But how I would line it up, I would say, all right. So the way my dollar bill system would go would be ones, tens, twenties, and thirties. Right. Martin Luther King, I'd probably he'd be the ones. Right. I would make him the ones because the ones circulate more. There's more of them. You know what I'm saying? In order for you to get to 10, you got to use a lot of ones. In order for you to get to 20, you got to use a lot of ones. So I would make Martin Luther King Jr. the ones, and I would make it the color red. More because he was so passive that I feel that red would bring more passion to his background. So it would make it a wiser choice. Malcolm, I would make it 10. And the reason why is because he would circulate a lot more than a 20 or a 30 or a 40, excuse me, yeah, 30, 40, whatever. Because it's in 10 increments. He would circulate more than that, but not as much. And I would make his color blue because he was definitely, like you said, 10 toes down. He was passionate about what he did. He wasn't taking no. And you know what I'm saying? It was like take my life or whatever. Like he was very, so I give him credit for that. But I would have to make his color blue just to tone down that I don't think a lot of his anger came just from being angry. It was that he was literally. So to give him red would make him look angry. To give him any other color, just I don't feel like it would suit him. Blue seems different. JFK, I'd probably make 40. Reason why is because he had the audacity to betray his fellow party enough to actually get killed in front of the entire American audience. So salute to him for that. He deserves a higher status and place for a moment in time because what he planned to do was not just going to free the people from the bank, but it was going to free up slavery too because most of slavery came from the banks trading slave traders to Americans. So it was all a hand in hand business. And one law didn't stop just because the business stopped. Like they just found other ways to do the trafficking behind scenes and then made themselves look like good guys who changed the world just a little bit better, but in the shadows we're still doing the same shit. You just don't know.
All right, you guys got a good list. I got one more. Close it out. Roselle, Harriet Tubman, Geico, Harriet Tubman.
Where she be at on my list?
Yeah.
Harriet, man, I would make her. She supposed to have been on the 20. Um, I would have to put Harriet on a buck, $100 bill,
Okay.
on a $100 bill. Uh,
Rosa Parks. Rosa Parks.
Rosa would have to go on the 50.
Okay. Um. Damn.
I kind of agree with both of those, except for like the 50 for the park. I probably put in like 20 area for me. If they higher circulation or whatever, but you know, hmm, there's a lot of things that I feel like there's a lot of other people that I would honestly, and I'm not trying to be offensive to nobody, but it's just like the truth. But there's a lot of other black people that I feel earn something more that I would put on a dollar bill before those people. Um, and more recently, I would even say I would go as far as saying Terrence Howard and his creation recently. Um, but before that, there have been, and I don't have any names here, and also I do apologize. I'm doing this point. But I know that there have been events here, okay? The recent assassination of the man who invented the machine that pulled water from the earth. I put his ass on it. He was such a threat, he had to be killed. Just because it's current day doesn't mean it doesn't count. That's some audacity. He created something that they were afraid of, and then they had to kill him.
No, I get it. I get it. I mean, there's many people if you wanted to go that route. You know what I'm saying? There's many people that were assassinated for shit. But I was just speaking on the people that people know of that made a big impact on everybody's life in one way or another. But since we got into that, let us know in the comments down below, whoever wants to be involved, and let us know what your list would be. Who will be on what dollar bill or what coin and why? Let us know, man. We want to know this shit. And but we're gonna be talking about Trump a little bit because Trump's been everywhere, man. This dude been making an impact like a celebrity everywhere. Everything's Trump, and you see it in everything you look at: TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. There's something about Trump somewhere. But there's also something about his son going around now here and there. And there's different things about his son being more involved as well. So it's like the celebrity status is moving down the generation. So the truth be told is what's going on with Trump's son and Trump. We're gonna let Rozelle take over this one.
Yeah, this is my era right here. This is my shit. Now, it won't be angry. It's not gonna be angry. This is actually gonna be kind of dark and mysterious because
Not angry at all.
it's not gonna be. I'm just curious. I'm gonna put you guys up on game. Now, if you go look at this book, right? I'm saying the name of the book in a minute. I gotta explain it to you first. If you go look for this book, it is said to not be dark and nefarious. There's no there's no evil undertone to the book whatsoever. Um, I'm gonna have to get the book myself. I try to go find it in the library or see if I can download it or whatever. But the book, you ready for this shit, guys? I don't know if you heard about this yet. The book is called, and it was written in the 1800s. All right. The book is called Baron Trump Chronicles. You guys hear about this show?
No, I'm gonna look it up now though.
Yeah.
What's the name again?
The Baron Trump Chronicles. I think there's like two different books. Now, what's weird is in the story, Baron Trump kind of like runs things, right? Kind of like runs things, and he goes on all these different adventures. But Baron Trump has a master that he has to report to. Guess who his master's name is?
What's that?
His master's name is Don. Now, how weird is it that in the 1800s, someone wrote a book about a man named Don who would be the master to this kid who takes over everything, and his name is Baron Trump. And as we know, Donald Trump, son's name is Baron Trump. So I thought that was kind of odd, and I plan on in the near future, maybe getting the book, like I said, trying to go to a library and see if I can find it and read up on it because they said it has no dark undertones, but you never know. And I just think that's a hell of a coincidence. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I want to talk about today. The coincidence between the father and the son and this boy and his master. It's just really, really, really weird. And Jacob, if you are paying attention, I would love to hear what you think about that.
Wait. Oh, real quick before he goes, I did find a Wikipedia thing here. It says it's called the Baron Trump novels, and it's Baron, like the son's name, not burying, not nothing like that. The Barron Trump novels are two children's novels written in 1889 and 1893 by American author and lawyer Ingersoll Lockwood. They remained obscure until 2017 when they received media attention for perceived similarities between their protagonists and the U.S. President Donald Trump and his son Barron Trump. So there you go. Got some info for you.
Um, honestly, I didn't hear nothing about that. So that's definitely news to me. Um, but I like I said, I've said this about the Bible. Everything they've ever said they were going to do, will do, have done, are doing They say it. They tell us. We just don't listen. Sometimes it's right in our face and we just choose to ignore it. It'll be in a movie, in a commercial, on TV, in a show, in a storybook. But as long as it's in the movie or the TV, it's not real. But people forget that in this life, so these things are really happen. My bad. Maybe I'm a little too but but yeah, no, I think it's just it's odd to me that the connections are there and people aren't taking this a little more seriously. Um, but at the same time, I'm not surprised. I'm really not. And I'm definitely going to try to read up on this book. I didn't even know that was a thing, so I got to definitely find that story and read it myself. Because I would love to do the comparisons on my own level and talk about that even deeper. But for right now, that's interesting shit. Y'all need to be worried here.
Not coincidentally, we were just talking about Jeffrey Epstein and everything like that, and this is a children's book. Just had to throw that out there. This is a children's book, and it speaks on a young man, a wealthy man living in a Trump castle. So, go ahead, Rozelle. That's crazy. The connection, though.
Oh yeah, and also, we mentioned that. Where is the Trump castle at? Do you see where it says it's at?
No, I
In
didn't.
the book, the Trump castle is in New York. Where's Trump Towers at? In New York. Exactly. There's too many similarities for it just to have been an innocent kid story. So I think, like I said, I want to do my due diligence on retrieving these books and maybe reading through them, skimming through them, and see what it says. What is Barron Trump's job in the book? What does he do? What does he get into? What is he in charge of? What does he mess up? What does he fix? I'm curious because the way they worded society, allegedly, Trump's trying to make it where this is a dictatorship. He becomes a king, not a president. And once you're a king, we all know your kingship is passed down to your son, which means Barron Trump would be this wealthy guy running the world, and his master will be Don, just like in the book. And they shall reside in a castle in New York. Weird.
That is very funny.
Yeah, it's funny to me too, because damn man, I just had a really great thought and I'm trying to lose it. Jesus Christ, I hear that smoke. Yo, facts. But no, going back to what you were saying, like with the whole Trump story, like for him to pass it on, it kind of like, all right, so like I'm a big geek when it comes to a lot of stories, Star Wars and shit like that. With the shit they can only do two, Master and Apprentice. You know what I'm saying? And then to have a story that's written out in prediction like that, and like that's some Nostradamus shit because it's happening. So it got me thinking about this game that I played, and I don't know if anybody else has played it because I'm also a game freak. It's a new version of Devil May Cry that had came out that bombed. I personally didn't like it myself either. It didn't fit the story at all. But I realized something when I compared the game storyline to what's happening right now. That shit is actually happening right now. Y'all gotta check this game out, even if you just watch a video play of it online. But the guy who ends up running the world is actually a demon, and he was a businessman and became president, but sold his soul, and he operated out of New York, and he had a fugly ass wife, and they had a demon child together that they were trying to pass their power on to, but you gotta see the gameplay. and then listen to the Barron Trump story, and then tell me if it ain't the same fucking thing.
Check it out. Check it out.
Yeah, that is it's very interesting. Like it kind of got me mind boggled right now. Like I got to read more on this, and I think we should bring this shit back up to the viewers when we get more information on it and read more. This shit is interesting as shit, but it made me think of The Simpsons. It made me think of the Mandela effect. It made me think about a lot of things, and this can be one of those situations. It could be a situation where they supposedly predicted it. Because I feel like the Simpsons predict shit, but I feel like something's going on within the Simpsons where they're not predicting, they're planning. Like they're blueprinting throughout this whole shit, and somebody has a hand in it that's allowing it, or probably even letting it be said or shown. And this is also a part of the blueprint because I mean everything is too spot on, man. Even Nostradamus wasn't that spot on. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right, right.
So it's just crazy how everything goes in the way it does. Like it goes together, it ties in together.
I, yo, I'm so sorry, Kevin. I had an epiphany, right? Check this out. Now, on the spiritual level, I believe in a lot of things, and I do believe that these higher up, these people, whatever you want to think is your belief, but I know that they're working with that. Think about this. What's the best way to get a spell to work? Is by making sure that every person on the planet sees the same thing at the same time on any level. Whether it's outside, inside, on their phone, on the radio, if they can hear it and they can see it and they speak it, it brings it into existence. And that's how they use their spells to cast mass wave delusional products to keep the masses under control. Just a spiritual, theory that just hit me.
No, that was dope. That was dope. That makes a lot of sense. So if that's the case, guys, make sure you guys spread the word. AC Soul's Blunt Truth is trying to put some shit out there. So make sure you guys let people know we on it. Share, like, subscribe, do all that above because we try and cast some good spells for y'all too. You feel me? The more views, the more we bring things to life. So, the truth is though, there's really no equality in this world like that. There hasn't been for a long time. So my question for you guys is, and we can start with you, Rozelle, as that's the format, the old school format, the old man with the cold plan. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get it. Let's get it.
What does equality mean to you, and how can we incorporate it in our daily life today to make sure it's a successful thing?
It is. It is. Hey, hello. Here I am.
Mhm.
It's my time to speak. I guess I get equal times to speak. Probably being um one of three. So we all equal. It's all equality. So we all share our times. But to me, equality means that all men and all women are treated fairly and just. You don't treat somebody different because of their financial status, because of their geographical location, because of the color of their skin. All men, all women should be treated equally. And here in America, just well, here on this planet, we just have a problem with doing that. Um, and what we need to do to make sure that we implement this, we need to take a long look at the person next to you. And even though he may not look like you, even though he may not look like you, he has two arms. She has two legs. They have 10 toes. They have two eyes. They have a mouth. They breathe. They bleed blood, just like you. There's nothing different. If you peel the top layer off of everybody and we were all to run around skinless, you wouldn't be able to tell one person from the next. So if you know this, then why can't we treat each other like we're walking around skinless? See, skin and the color of skin has played such a major part in the earth's downfall. I don't love that person because they're this. They don't love that person because they're that. He doesn't have what I have. She don't live where I live. His hair is nappy. She's bald headed. She has too much hair. Are you fucking serious? We need to learn to just accept. And that's the key right there. Acceptance. Accepting people for who they are, for what they are, loving them for that, and going about your own way. You know what I'm saying? Stop judging. Stop looking to feel better by putting somebody else down. And I think that's what we do a lot of times. We're in a place where we don't feel good unless we're stepping on somebody's neck. And we got to stop that. That's the bottom line. And once we learn to do that, I think the world would be a better place. We can get back to love because that's what would make heaven on earth, the love for one another amongst the masses. And until we do that, it will always be hell on earth. I'm signing out on that note. I go.
I think it's an interesting topic to come at us with because the reality is that I'm gonna give you the spiritual side to it, right? And then I'll try to respond a little bit to what Roswell said because I do agree with a lot of what he said. But I also know that focusing on just those things as well is also part of the trap. It's part of the spell, and the reason why I say that is leading into the spiritual side of things is I don't believe that there's any way for any of us to connect until we bring our spiritual selves to a higher level, until we raise our consciousness and we vibrate at a higher frequency, until we can connect on that deeper level of understanding each other's emotions without having to speak. I don't think we could ever get there because there's too much divide. There's been too many rifts and there's too many spells and believe it or not, these guys are very intelligent about how they do things. They just not from the churches that they built, like the cathedrals and the businesses and stuff like that, like where they're positioned at and how they're positioned and what materials they're built with, and all of that plays a factor in their power. And the existence of this shit. This is why they built pyramids all over the world, not just in Egypt. There's pyramids everywhere. North America, South America, Mexico, East Asia, they're everywhere. So the reality is they understand that keeping people's frequencies low and not letting them understand that power that these so-called ancient people who were, basically cavemen running around with torches, they weren't. They were advanced technological beings. And even before them and before them, and there's been evidence and traces of it. And you know what? If you believe in the firmament, which I honestly do, there's no way in hell there's a universe outside of where we live. There might be other dimensions that you can travel to within our realm, but to escape it, to actually leave, no, I don't think that that's possible. I really don't. I hope that people don't misconstrue what I'm saying. That while your point is valid, saying I see it from the spiritual aspect.
I'm bringing you to the barbershop. If I ever go back to a barbershop, so I usually don't go because my head bald. But if I go to a barbershop, nigga, I'm bringing you with me. I ain't gonna do no talking. I'm gonna wait till they ask and they start talking their barbershop talk. I'm gonna look at you and be like, Geico, you got me? My nigga will get you. He will get you, bruh. So, I didn't get your answer though about the equality question. How? Oh shit. So
I
what's
mean,
so what does equality mean to you, and how would you incorporate it?
well, that's what I'm trying to say. I would try to do the same things that these guys have done. Like, what's his name? Rothschild or something like that. He changed like the frequency of music to make it more droll. It's a lower frequency. We don't vibe to it the way that we should. Why did he do that? What was the purpose behind it? Why did they get rid of all the church bells that were around? Well, why don't you hear those anymore? Because the rumor is that they give off high vibrational frequencies that can actually make people happy, which happiness heals people. And they can't have happy, healed people. They need to have pissed off, miserable, sick people. Because that's how you keep your soul in check. But if you start to find happiness, you start to find peace. If you start to find peace, you start to find joy. When you start finding joy, you can be humble and courteous to other people. So you will grow spiritually. And that's what I was going, like, that's what I was talking about. The brilliant quality, people got to let go of the physical realm entirely. Once upon a time, this was the quote unquote Garden of Eden because you could go anywhere and eat. There was food abundance. Why has that been limited? Because of pavements, because of sidewalks, because of stores, because of parking lots, because of the amusement parks. Yo, you know how much food we can have right now? Yeah, it comes with cost. It comes with living with the wild. And guess what? We're, we're well equipped. I don't understand why we don't put this stuff down and just do what we got to do as a people. But it's not going to happen. Not until people start to look within themselves and realize that there is a better way to live and it comes from us. We can't rely on them. That's it. That's where the equality is right there. It's in us. We got to do.
Yeah, so basically grow spiritually. But I mean I understand what you're saying. Um, we all definitely got to raise our vibration and grow. That's the only really real way to escape. But the truth is, they got to systematically involve so much that we rely on the system because we feel trapped and we are trapped because we have to do things to live that are involved with the system as well. As without it, I mean, what are we gonna do? You know what I'm saying? As far as this worldly world goes. So one thing I do got to say though, women. I think this should apply to y'all more than men. I'm just saying, I'm not trying to be, you know, how you call that, a womanizer? How you call that? A feminist? Chauvinist. There you go, chauvinistic. I ain't trying to be chauvinistic, but the reality is, man. I mean, it's been proven anyway throughout history that women are more worldly than men are. You know, men are more spiritual in many ways. Not saying all. There's women out there that's more spiritual than me probably, but for the most part, the stereotype has been proven to be true for the most part that women are very materialistic compared to a lot of guys. So, you know, just saying. If y'all disagree, y'all can comment down below and we can actually debate this thing, you know what I'm saying? I got some proof for y'all. So ladies, if y'all disagree, comment down below, let us know and we can go at it, you know what I'm saying? But go ahead, Yako, you got something to say before we go out?
Hey, bro. So right now, I just wanted to start out now. You said you started with what you said. All right. So words matter, right? We all agree on that. Words have power, and words bring things into fruition just as much as thought, want, and need. So what you started out with was, well, we all feel like we're trapped, and it's because we are. You put a star out there when you said that, because now people are gonna only think, we're trapped, we're trapped, we're trapped, we're trapped. And that's the mindset that's wrong because you're not trapped. If you understand how your soul works, you would understand that you're not trapped. And you choose to be here by believing that the physical world is real. Yeah. Everybody under the sun who believes in religion believe that there's a heaven. They're gonna go there. They're good. Everything's flop. Whatever, whatever. But the reality is, none of that is inaccurate. But you have to understand where it comes from because if not, you're just repeating the same cycles. That is where reincarnation comes in. So, you know, elevating yourself doesn't just help you; it helps the next person and everything around you. Getting rid of massive amounts of equipment that give off negative energy that make the body sick are things that we need to start thinking about, but we can't put it down because it's addictive. So that's all I'm saying. Just stop the bullshit that they give us. I've been saying it at the show. Stop the bullshit they give us. Just drop it.
Nah, I get what you're saying. But we might have a class in session. I don't know. It might be me and you with it today. But what I'm saying is we are trapped, no matter how you look at it. You can say what you want, people can become spiritual, but at the end of the day, you have to play by the rules that are given to us while figuring out how to break from the chains because we are shackled in position where we are. So if that's not the case, bro, go quit your job and go do shit against the system completely and hit me back in like 2 weeks. Actually, hit me back next month and let me know how shit goes for you and if your spirituality has you living good and eating well. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. We have to do things that in this world to, yeah, we have to break the chains. I get what you're saying because we all on that level in this room, I believe. But we're trapped, bro. We're shackled down until we figure out how to break the chains. That's all I'm saying.
Real quick, I'm just saying, I'm glad I'm not in this one. I'm just listening, guys. That being said, carry on.
My bad. I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we're not here to complete a task. And I'm not saying that living in this realm, like we chose to be here. Spiritually, we chose to come to this realm, right? So I'm not saying that what we do here doesn't matter. What I'm trying to say is that to bring equality, we have to drop all the things that they give us. If we stop wanting like a new car and a new phone and we just stop after a while just putting their stuff down and walking away from their entire way of living and build our own way of living, our own societal way that works for us instead of against us, it's just going to continue. And then when we try to do that, they're just going to come in and try to wipe us out. So I get exactly what you're saying, but it's the only way. Like it's either do or die, have faith or don't. I'm not saying that my faith is so strong at this point in time that I can do all those things that you just said because I do have a show that I need to host and come on to, and I have things that I in this physical realm that I do cherish, even though I know that on some level it is kind of wrong, but I haven't accepted that yet. It's just it is what it is. It takes. I believe that we're here to complete a task, and I do believe that this matters, and everything that we do here matters. How we treat people matters, but at the same time, we can't forget that there's a home beyond this.
And Chris, how do you feel about that? I'm just curious.
To be honest, he worded it a lot better right there. So we on the same page now. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying? Like
okay, okay.
he worded it a lot better right there. Like that's basically what I was saying. Like so you basically have to put all this stuff down. The problem is it's not easy to do so because we're stuck in a system that is perfectly designed. Like I just gotta say, it's perfectly fucking designed to keep us fucked up and keep them on top. But I agree with where we need to get to for everything to be successful. So you worded that better that time. The last time though, it was more worded like fuck everything in this world and just become spiritual beings and we're gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Without a game plan, basically. That's what it sounded like anyway, last time.
Oh no, I feel you. But let me just say this, bro. I honestly I appreciate when you do this for me because you get me to clarify what I'm trying to say. There's a lot of times where I say things in such a way that it ain't coming out right. But I will say this. He's always checking on those kinds of things. And yes, like I said, everything on this realm matters. Just can't forget that our purpose is our purpose, and when it comes to us, and it comes to them. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, there's a home beyond this, and you make your own home. So you can either choose to believe in everything that they're giving you, or you can choose to put it down, walk away, and come together. But I feel like you just gotta understand that when you say that we're trying, every time that you do say it, it just puts it in people's minds. So instead of saying, that version of it, I would try to find a better way to, until we can climb out of this cave. You know what I'm saying? Until, people wake up and leave. Yeah, till we break the chain, like things like that. They sound, you know what I'm saying? But to say trap is more negative, whereas to say those things are more clean. So that was all I was trying to say. I don't know how. It's just how my brain works, yo. My bad. I'm not trying to. I'm not even trying to be funny for real. Like it's just how my brain works.
So Razel, before we go, one last question for you. That class in session didn't go the way yours normally goes with Yaiko. How do you feel about that? Were you disappointed by this class in session?
Honestly, totally disappointed. Totally. I said I get to sit back and watch these niggas bang heads. I got nothing to do with it. I was super thrilled. You conceded. He changed up. Shit just went flip flop. Here I am left holding empty thoughts of grandeur. I want you guys to go at it. But it didn't happen.
I'm glad that I can give you an example of what it's like when two people have a conversation and one listens and one speaks, and then the other one actually accepts the information given, turns that around and says, "Wow, you gave me so." All right, let me correct what I just said real quick. You see, I wanted to show you guys a proper example of how you can get along.
Now, just for the record, since you got me started, okay? And I was trying to, oh, you heard. I was trying to be easy. See, it's easy for it goes that way when someone checks your nuts and then you reconstrue. I mean, you reconstruct what you initially said, and then that makes what you said maybe not a point to be attacked, but it's different when you have somebody thinking that they know what they're saying and you know what you're saying and you bump heads and then later on off camera they say, you know what, you were right. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's just off for camera, guys. It's off for camera. He knows good and well that I am the ultimate debater on this bitch. Fuck what you heard. I actually had a chat bot fucked up today. I'll tell you about that story later on.
What you got to say about that, Yaiko? How you feel about that?
Honestly, I forgot a lot about what he just said. Because, okay, you know why? Because I'm gonna tell you right now. If you watch our past shows, you'll hear me say you need to drop everything that they're offering. I never said none of it matters. I never said, just like say fuck everything and whatever. No, what I'm saying is, and I've always said it, you need to build your community, you need to grow together, you need to take care of each other. I've said this so many times, so I'm not. But when I get right down to it, since I've said it so many times, I'm just gonna cut to the chase and say it the nitty gritty way. But when you check me on it, I realize how it sounds if people don't know where it's coming from. But if you watch the past shows, you know where it's coming from. I've already given a plan. I've already said this is how people need to get there.
And if you watch past shows, you understand that Yaiko has the a new ability to paddle upstream without oars. It's crazy. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. But that being said, right, what did that have to do with his and I argument? I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. We're lost.
We're not lost. It's
We're
real
lost.
simple.
Thou shalt not kill. We're lost boys in this bitch. You understand what I'm saying? We're lost boys. Thou shalt not break.
All right, now hold on, hold on. I'm gonna try to dumb it down. I'm gonna try to dumb it
Thou
down.
shalt not steal.
Let me dumb it down for you. This is what happened, okay? I said how the unity thing was gonna go. I said drop everything, grow spiritually, blah blah blah. Y'all took it as this guy talking about kill yourself type shit. Don't sacrifice yourself type shit because you're gonna be a spirit. Like that's how I was thinking it. So that's why I said when you said it the way you said it, I said, oh shit.
We
When
never
he
said
said
none of that, guys. Just so y'all know.
No, 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 no. I'm not. No, no, no.
He
Don't
works a lot of
do
hours,
that.
guys. He works a lot of hours. He smokes a lot of weed.
Don't
You
do that.
can't blame him for who he is. We love him here. Yaiko, we love you. We love you.
You're misunderstanding me. I see. I'm trying. Oh my God. I can't. Look, look, look. I'm gonna put it to you like this.
Point proof. You heard that shit?
I can't get it
Gibberish.
across to you, like
Gibberish.
how I'm trying to say this. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I never said anything about. All right, if I said drop all the material stuff and focus spiritually, y'all took it as leave your job, da 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 da, and just there's another life after this. So just whatever, like whatever happens to you, basically, if you do all that, you die, right? So you're killing yourself. That's the point that I'm trying to get across. Every time that I say something, I'm just saying to the point. I'm not giving all the meats and exhibits in the middle. So now when I say it like that, do you understand where I'm coming from?
Well, I get what you're
No,
saying, but the shit is, I never said drop everything and just kill yourself. I said, because with the way you were saying it, I specifically said we're shackled here. We're systematically trapped, and we gotta do it before we can figure out how to break these shackles. And you basically went against it, and that's when you said drop everything, basically, and we have to build spiritually, drop everything in this world. That's why I'm saying you basically said go leave your. I basically was telling you go leave your job then. You know what I'm saying? Because you went against me saying that we're systematically like trapped.
and on my behalf, before you rebuttal, I know you want to. I said nothing. I said nothing, and yet got dragged into the goddamn argument. I don't know how it happened,
You're welcome.
but it happened.
I did my
Look,
job.
look, look,
I need a
Yeah.
raise.
look. All I'm saying is like just like he said, he took what I said as drop everything, leave your job. So what happens when you leave your job? Let's go over step by step, okay? Because y'all can't read between the lines, okay? Step by step. If you leave your job, you lose your place. If you lose your place, you're out on the street. You have nowhere to go. You have nothing to eat. You could die. So basically, the way that I interpreted what you took that I said, stating all that, is basically drop everything and go die, go kill yourself, whatever, however you want to say it. Okay. So now, because I said it that way, I understand how it sounds, but I'm just getting to the point of you said leave your job. That means eventually you're gonna die. If you can't eat, you're gonna die, right? So that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying it in a way that it sounds a lot more crude than I intend. So I apologize.
All good, bro. You can survive if your spirit is fed, though. Say nah. I just mess with you. I just mess with you.
I heard that.
I
Go ahead,
notice how I
Roger.
notice how
I've heard that.
I notice how
That's why I said it.
the lighter skinned guy on to my right got an apology. I never do though.
Oh.
Why is that? Why is that? And like
I only
and you notice
involved you in it because I was trying to clarify to you about the comment that you made and the reason why we got along and the reason why I was able to have been persuaded and you couldn't accept that. So I decided to tell people that this is how a conversation goes where people get along and you bring unity because you listen to each other. You're the one that took personal offense after that. I never mentioned you.
nigga, the word wrong means you What you talking about?
People, the people who are watching. What do you mean? That's not you only.
You said, hold on, hold on. What he said was, y'all said that, oh, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Y'all, and I hadn't said not one word. I know how to listen, bro. And by listening, I heard the word y'all used several times in a sentence where the word you should have been used.
That's true.
The word you, because I had said anything at all.
Sir, you are correct.
Oh well, I
And I
appreciate it.
apologize.
There you go.
He's handing out corrections today. We're
Yeah,
gonna have to take advantage of this shit.
I did say that. I did mistake. You are correct, sir.
That's crazy. Yo, you know what's crazy?
Me, and I appreciate you for it.
It's not a show without you guys going at it. So I'm glad I got to do my job because it looked like it was going south, and I wasn't gonna get y'all to go at it at all. I'm like, damn, I might get debunked. My money might be out the window. Might get fired.
And I didn't want to do that today. I was in great spirits, trying to be like you on a higher frequency, and then I get dragged right back down into the bullshit. Y'all said this. Y'all said that. You see how that happens when one listens and you have a conversation and the other one doesn't listen? You know, you was throwing shots at me. You were including me and shit. And all I'm trying to do is live. Father God, please help me live a higher frequency life.
You know,
Please help me. Yes, please. I beg of thee to help me to manage conversations with my brother Yaiko. He's a good guy, but sometimes he includes me in things, Father, and I had nothing to do with it. This I ask in your name. Hallelujah.
Oh shit. That's crazy. We got a prayer out here. You know what I mean? This is crazy.
I'm
Like this is
proud of him,
this is
bro.
different. This is very different, you know, like I must say,
I'm
apologies
proud of
going
him.
around. My bad. I didn't mean to bring y'all vibrations down like that. I just wanted to start a class in session.
No, it actually didn't bring my vibrations down. I'm actually proud of him. I'm not even gonna lie, because he just made me realize I was wrong 2 times. And guess what? Not only do I owe him another apology, but I have to start looking at myself a little bit closer and start analyzing how I speak. Thank you for that.
Yo, this is different. This is different. He's being racist right now. I only got one apology. Nah.
Love is love. Love is love.
Yo, that was good. That was good though. Well, with that being said though, that's all the time we got. You know what I'm saying? It's AC Soul's Blunt Truth. This episode was a really good episode. Hopefully we get to put it out because you know somebody's slacking on the editing. I don't want to. I don't know who it is. Steve. Hey yo, Steve. Steve. Right, Steve in editing. What's going on, man? Slacking over there. The hell wrong? We should slap your ass. But you know, it is what it is. You got to pass, Steve. You got to pass. But yeah, with that being said, though, I'm your moderator slash instigator. You know, I had to do that well today. Roman Christopher, and this is the master debater, Yaiko, and Razel, the educator.
That be me right there, guys.
Yes,
What it
sir.
do? What it do?
That's right, man.
Hey, yo, listen. We happy you guys stop by, spend some time with us, listen to the podcast. Hope you enjoyed everything we had to share with you, and I hope you come back. This is A60's Blunt Truth, and I believe I speak for everybody when I say we out.
It's your boy Yaiko. Remember, like, subscribe, share, and comment below. This is A6O's Blunt Truth. We out.